How's it going, everybody? My name is Joshua Paragos, and today I'll be talking to you about my significant difficulty that I was having on this project. The main problem I was having was not having a basis understanding of how the sensor works. So how that relates to technically wise was I was trying to understand how to program it correctly. What I was doing wrong was that I was trying to make functions to try hard code and collect the data when there's already function calls inside C++ that I could use to help program my code. I was trying to hard code it. And another problem I was having, another sub problems, I was overthinking it. I had to like take account for all the factors that could happen throughout the data collection process, like when data is being collected, what happens if the data is not valid, or like when we lose connectivity with the sensor, or when we run out of space. Because the sensor, what our goal is it has to make sure that it runs throughout a whole couple of days, and we don't check until after, and we got to make sure the sensor is collecting data correctly, and then also that sends the data to the hub. Well, as having what problems solution I did come up throughout this was that I was reading the data sheet more extensively because I had to understand which pins I had to use, because since we have four different sensors, I have to make sure that I'm using the right pin, and also that I'm sending it to the right voltage, because the way our sensor, when I fixed the program, was that it was taking in data and also changing voltage based on how the sensor was reading it. Like the moisture sensor, the way it works is that when it reads in like water, like the voltage would change, and that would show on my serial, which will tell me like the change in moisture, like it would indicate me if there is moisture in the soil. Also, taking account, what I did to fix this problem was that I was working with another teammate, because he's doing a different sensor, but it's still the same objective. But I was trying to stay on the same page as him, because like we were trying to stay on the basic understanding of how we want to approach this, and like not, and that I was able to set it up to where I can be able to store it in my own function instead of trying to look off his. The results were that when I actually were able to fix and program the sensor correctly, and also trying to store it, the results were coming in where what I expected, where there was a change in moisture. So that's how I knew that it was working, and also that I was able to also store the data using non-volatile storage. And the reason why we're doing that, because we want to we want it to only taking like a lot of little data instead of taking big chunks, because like we said, the sensor has to take in a lot of data throughout a whole time period. What can I do better on this is that before I even start program, I have to extensively try to work out how to program this, because I think that was my problem. I was overthinking it, and that I needed to fix it. So what I could do is look over the data sheet better, and then if I have questions, I can go to professors and my teammates to get an understanding of it. And I believe that's pretty much my whole big problem, just overthinking setting up the sensor and trying to program it, trying to use unnecessary code where I could use just library calls instead. All right, thank you.